us here at the San Fernando Hotel.
And the idea is to show you our beautiful Latin tour, and the clients are more than happy to meet over 200 beautiful single women and realize that anything is possible.
And this is the first moment where they are going to meet these beautiful ladies, and hopefully they are going to share the rest of their life with one of them.
So let's have a look at our beautiful women and our handsome gentlemen here at the social night in June in Medellin 2023.
Welcome.
Hello, good evening, and hello, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Latin Show. My name is Maria. I'm your host for tonight, and yeah, very happy to connect one more time with you. So what's going on tonight, gentlemen? We have, obviously, as usual, our travel advice for you. So if you're thinking about coming to Colombia, about dating Colombia, traveling Colombia, living in Colombia, then this is a good place to be tonight. And so I will give you a quick travel advice. Then we're going to talk about our upcoming Medellin tour, which starts tomorrow. Our schedule, obviously, for next year, the ones who are this year still, we have one more tour in Colombia this year. So if you're still thinking about going, wanting to meet somebody, then there's still an opportunity left. For the rest for this year, obviously there are more tours, so if it's not Colombia, you can obviously go to other places too. And next year, our schedule, and then we have a couple of things prepared for you tonight. So we have a couple of new women, which you always love, the interviews, the videos we do to present the women. And we have a topic that we're going to talk about tonight as well, and that is being in love or being obsessed. Sorry, I can't talk today. being in love or being obsessed with the idea of love. So what's the difference? What is the difference being in love or being really obsessed with the idea of being in love? So there's a difference, and some of you maybe have been struggling with that or haven't been able to find love, and maybe there are some reasons because of that. Maybe you haven't met the right woman. That is possible, but maybe you also haven't been able to maybe see the things you have not been doing right in the past, right? So sometimes there are different things that can maybe impede you from having a successful relationship or meeting somebody. We work with that as well as matchmakers. We help you look a little bit not only about obviously finding the right matches, that is our main goal, but what can we do for you so that you're successful with the people you're meeting, right? Because sometimes it's not about the connection, it's sometimes personal issues. Everybody has personal issues, past things that have happened in your life that might now in this relationship affect you, right? So when you work closely with me and with the team in general, we also, and especially in the Elite Club VIP service, I can talk about that a little bit more. We go more into that and help you in a more profound and deeper level, because there are a lot of things to keep in mind when it's about being successful in love and being successful in dating and marriage. So one thing is meeting, one thing is matching. The other thing is also having how to keep up the connection, how to keep up the relationship, and how to improve yourself, right? Or what are things you can do to become better, because nobody's perfect. We're all human beings. And I think one of our biggest goals in life should be to become better and improve ourselves, right? So I try to talk a little bit about that, but if you want to have more help, more support, more questions, or a program which helps you, then there are possibilities. So just let me know. So it's a little bit like relationship coaching as well, right? So we're talking a little bit about that. We are talking about the woman. As I said, we have 3 interviews prepared for you tonight. One is Kelly 212162. Another one is Maria 209320, and the other one is Marcella 215907. The ones who already want to maybe check it out, but we have the whole show. We're going to talk about it. Remember, this is a live show, so you can ask live questions. So go ahead and type everything you want to know in. I might not get all of your questions, so sometimes I get comments like, "Oh, Maria, I talked and asked like 5 questions, and you didn't answer any of them." So I'm really sorry. I'm not the one who gets I have a different thing here where my questions get in, and so sometimes I can just reply to the questions I get here in my panel. So if there are any other questions I didn't reply to and you would like to have an answer and you would like to get in touch with us, then just write me an email. Email address is here, infoafacolombia@gmail.com. And you can also reach out via phone. You can call Phoenix and the extension 2018, but try the extension 0. That might be better. 602-553-8178 is the number in the Phoenix, Arizona area. So that would be the easiest. And then if not, write an email. So, but let's just start, and then I get more into everything related to dating questions. But let me know your questions, and I'm happy to answer everything. So if you would like to travel to Colombia, what do you need? What is required right now? So good news, no vaccination thing is required at all. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not, you can travel. It's all good. But you all need the Czech migration form, especially from the United States. From Europe, I haven't seen that the airlines are asking too much for it, but I just flew American Airlines a couple of weeks ago, and they also asked me. And they ask you in the check-in at the airport. So it's not that they ask you here in Colombia. You have to have this Czech migration form before you board your flight, before you do check-in. So you can do that up to 72 hours prior. You can do this up to 1 hour, from 72 hours up to 1 hour before your flight leaves, but not later than that. Okay. So, and as I said, they won't let you do the check-in if you don't have it. So at the check-in counter, they will tell you, okay, your passport, where you're going to travel, Colombia. Okay, where's the Czech migration form? You don't have it? Okay, go there and fill it out. Go there and fill it out means on your phone. There is no written thing, right? There's nothing like, how you say it, like there's no physical form. You have to fill it out on the phone, or if you do it at home at your computer. So I would recommend you do it from the computer, as it is maybe a little bit easier, right? So that's the only thing, but the check migration form is just a form. You fill out your name, your flight information, your birth date, where you're going to stay, the address. If you are on a tour, you have the hotel address in your agenda. If you're not on a tour, you can book any hotel, and you book that hotel you put that hotel address in. You booked. Every hotel has an address, and every hotel has a phone number. So that is what you put in when they ask for the directions. You have to put the state in. So depending on the country as well, but on the city you live in. Sorry, the city you're going to visit. For example, if you're going to visit Medellin, then you have to put Antioquia in. If you're going to visit Cartagena, you have to put Bolivar in. And if you go to Barranquilla, you have to put Atlántico. If you go to Santa Marta, you have to put Magdalena. You can Google that. What is the department of Santa Marta? What is the department of Medellin? Okay, so that is just Googling. It's not very complicated at all. And that's it. You don't need anything else. A valid passport. That's not true. You need one more thing. You need the passport, which is at least usually they don't require it, but it makes sure it's at least for 6 months valid. And you need to have a return flight. For most of you guys, that's a normal thing. You just buy both ways when you reserve, because you know you have 7 days of vacation time or 10 days of vacation time. So for most of you, you anyway buy a return flight. But some of you are self-employed, some of you run businesses or are more flexible, and they don't know when you would like to, or you don't know when you would like to go back. So then you can just buy a flight which is flexible, obviously, where you can change. So it might be a little bit more expensive, but you're flexible in changing your return ticket. So you just put any date in and book that flight, or you buy any flight out of the country. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be back to the United States or back to Europe. It's just out of the country. So you can fly to Panama, or you fly to Ecuador. If you plan a trip to Argentina, then you fly from Colombia to Argentina. It doesn't matter. Just that you have a flight out of the country. So, and you can just book any flight of the country, out of the country. You show it to them. And if you don't want to use that flight, most airlines have a 24-hour free cancellation policy. So you book it, you arrive, you cancel, and then you book a new flight whenever you want. So, but look in the cancellation policies of the airlines, but most airlines have a 24-hour free cancellation policy. So if it's after 24 hours, then obviously you cannot, right? So, so that are the two ways. So you need a flight out of the country, you need the check migration form, and you need a valid passport. That's it. If you need help with hotel accommodations, hotel reservations, hotel recommendations, airport pickup, no problem. You can just get in touch, and we help you with that. Some of the guys for the Medellin tour are already watching tonight. Some already arrived. I don't know what happened with this tour, but you guys were really early. We had the first guys already arriving on Monday. Remember that your tour always starts on Thursday. You can come obviously on Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you want, but your tour starts on Thursday. What does that mean? Your dates start from Thursday, right? And we are still today reconfirming and still confirming women. So guys, don't worry if you haven't heard, or if you have heard from us, or if you hear from tomorrow from us. We are all of us organizing your dates. And sometimes it's very dynamic. This country, this Latin culture is not that not organized, I don't know what to say, but not that strict with the schedule, right? So you, for example, we set up a date last week with one of the women, and that's for everybody. So everybody who's watching that, who comes with an expectation to meet women here, just keep in mind, you sent us, for example, a hot list of 5 women, right? We contact them like 2 weeks ago, and so, or 10 days ago, whatever. And so I ask her, hey, are you next Thursday available at 7 p.m. for a dinner with water? And she says yes. And in lots of countries, that's enough, right? You just confirm 10 days ago, and then that's valid in 10 days. And if something comes up, you expect that that person will tell you that something comes up. So that is one culture. Then there's different cultures, and this culture is a little bit different. So you can set up a date 10 days ago, no problem. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen 10 days later. So what does it mean? So we confirm her 10 days ago, but if we don't reconfirm her today, for tomorrow, if the date is tomorrow, then the date is not going to happen because we didn't reconfirm her. It took me a while to understand that. There were a lot of dates, a lot of things where I got stood up because I didn't understand the culture. So obviously we reconfirming. And then she can still say today, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow 7 p.m., but still tomorrow something can come up. So tomorrow at 5 p.m., it's possible, we hope it's not going to happen, but it's possible that she might write, hey, sorry, I'm work, they don't let me go, I have to stay longer, so the date, I'm sorry, I have to reschedule for another day. Most of the time it doesn't happen, but it can happen. So just keep in mind, it's not as strict, right? We reconfirming, we calling, especially for the social events on Friday. We're calling like crazy, we reconfirming, we're calling since a month. And that doesn't mean that they necessarily show up, right? We're not paying money to anybody. Nobody's obligated to come to a social event. Nobody's obligated to go on a date. And so if she cancels last minute, if something comes up, then there's often nothing I can do, or the matchmakers can do, the team can do. We try with all our best to that it's not going to happen, but it has happened. So just be prepared. So if you haven't heard before from us from today, don't worry. It's because we're really reconfirming today the dates for tomorrow. And the dates for Friday, we already set up. We have to reconfirm them tomorrow, and like that every day. And so, yeah, keep that in mind. That is a lot of calling from our side, and it takes a little bit of while, but we're all working on your hot list on all of your dates. So if tomorrow you arrive, anytime you arrive, the office will be open until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So just come by the office, we sit down, look at the hot list, and then look who is going to come to the event, who's not going to come, who was interested, who was not interested, what dates do you have. And obviously every day we keep on confirming. Have some patience with us because it's really a lot of work and a lot of organization, a lot of calling, a lot of people. So it is a stressful time for us. I will be traveling tomorrow. I have to pack my suitcase still. I haven't been ready yet, but I'm getting ready. And I will be there tomorrow in the afternoon, late afternoon. So looking forward to meet everybody as well. Friday, we have an orientation meeting. And so I'm just telling you guys, for the ones who are coming, but also for the ones who haven't been or want to come. So that is what usually happening, right? And we have a Friday orientation meeting where everybody is invited. You don't have to participate, but I encourage you to do so. We talk about the whole tips. We do like a really social one-on-one in the orientation meeting, what to do, what not to do on the social, how's the dynamics happening, what to do during the week, what not to do, what to do after the tour, what not to do. And so you get like a little boot camp introduction to Latin culture, Latin dating in that week. So so the ones who haven't been on the conference call, we do also a conference call a week prior. So the guys who want to sign up for the tour, for example, you want to sign up for Barranquilla next year, you can already do that. And then keep in mind, Michelle will stay in communication with you until a couple of weeks prior to your travel. And then we get in touch with you here. And as I said, get into touch with you with your hot list. And then we do the conference call. We do the orientation meeting. You can come to the office any day. If you arrive a day earlier, come into the office. Just keep in mind that we are still reconfirming and having a lot of things to do. So we are looking at your hot list and reconfirming the woman. And then, as I said, orientation meeting, and then Friday evening social, Saturday morning city tour, Saturday evening second social. You meet different women, again, speed dating, but a completely new room full of women, which is usually about 80 to 120 women per night. So it's a lot. And then Sunday we have optional activities. Monday we have optional activities. Tuesday we have optional activities. In Medellin is Sunday Guatapé tour. It's our favorite tour because you go to the rock and it's beautiful and there are the lakes and it's just a great day trip and very, very nice. Monday we have the party bus, which I also love. It's always an amazing experience, the party bus. And Tuesday evening we have dance lessons, couple dance lessons. So the idea is that you bring a date to all of them. Now you will say, how should I bring a date? How does that work? Obviously, that's where we come in, right? We organize the date. If you tell me I want on Tuesday, go with Marcella to the dance classes, then obviously we ask Marcella if she's interested to go with you on the dance classes. So Some of you have a couple of dates prior to the social, some don't want them. So that's obviously up to you. You can have as many dates as you want. But lots of men also like to wait until Friday evening when they go, like they like to take the Thursday, Friday a little bit to settle in, maybe go to one date, and then on Friday evening start with the social and meet the woman in person and then get a better idea, because most of you just decide by profile pictures, right? And on the social, you have the chance to talk to them. You meet everybody, you can exchange phone numbers, so you don't have to, like, once you meet, everything is on your own afterwards. As I said, we try to give you as much support as possible. I'm working still on that after coaching tour and elite club program, which I tell you every week about, that I wanted to already have ready since the springtime. So we're already nearly in fall. But I hope to get it ready by the end of the year, because we really want to support you in the whole matchmaking and the whole finding the right person and relationship building as well. So guys, if you have a couple of questions, I see you are writing here. Lincoln, Scott, hi again. Scott, how you doing? Hi everyone, I'm ready for the Medellin tour tomorrow. We are ready too, we're excited. We are sold out. I don't know guys, I think we had one spot, we put on the website one spot left. That spot was sold out today, so there is no more spots right now. If I have a really last minute cancellation tomorrow, which I don't hope, then we might get another free spot, but right now we're totally booked out. It's one of the biggest tours we had, together with the one in April. We're really excited, and I think it's going to be amazing. So some of you are repeaters, which I also always like, and so don't, now the guys will say, why are guys repeating on a tour? There are several reasons why guys repeat on a tour. First of all, most the ones who go on tours haven't been yet so much on other dating activities in Latin America. So often for you, the tour is the first time you really go, or you really get in touch with that culture and you really meet and date. So obviously, as it is the first time, you have no idea. You go with your best of knowing and do the best of your things you think you are right to do, and then you learn throughout the week, because now you're not dating anymore in your own culture, you're dating now in a different culture. And as I already told you in the beginning, there are cultural differences, like for example, how to reconfirm a date, how to communicate, what are the different agreements. Like you think, okay, we meet in 1 week and that is all good, and you keep your schedule free. She also keeps maybe her schedule free, but if something comes up, then it comes up. So it's a little bit different. So for lots of you, the tour is really the first step in dating into a different culture. And so often you really don't know, and you learn the first tour, and then on the second tour, you know what to do better, what not to do. You know now what you like, what you should have done, whatever. So there's a lot of things, and notice that there are so many mistakes you can do, but yeah, there are some. And in the orientation meeting, Manuela, in the orientation meeting, we talk about that a lot. What are the mistakes? And it's a challenging dating environment, not because you don't have opportunities, you have so many opportunities, and that is very different for you. And so often, because you have so many opportunities, you don't know how to handle that, and how to talk to the woman, and how to maintain the connection throughout the week, and how you date multiple women without that they getting annoyed or that they get upset with you. So there are lots of things to keep in mind. And so don't worry if you go a second, third, or fourth time on a tour, that can totally happen. Lots of you also made a really good connection on the last tour and started a relationship, but after a couple of months, it might have been faded out. It didn't work out, like communication was not that easy. Or in the end, the connection was not deep enough. That is one of the most common things that I see, that sometimes the connection is not deep enough. So what can you do to deepen the connection is stay as much time as you can. Not only go 7 days, if you can do 10, 14 days, the better. The more time you can spend with her, the better. The more often you can come back, the better. The more you can text and write via WhatsApp and do video calls, the better. And so obviously you have to dedicate some time to your relationship. And that is one of the things I see you guys often, you are very busy, and not because you're not getting matches or you don't know how to meet somebody. If not, you're very busy in your life, and you think every woman is very independent and they don't need that, and you don't have to communicate, you don't have to be a gentleman, whatever. And so sometimes, or you don't have the time, you cannot put that effort and time into the relationship. I would tell you, if a Latin woman doesn't feel like a number one, like the priority one, or in general, a woman doesn't feel priority in your life, it might not last forever, because she has to feel important. If she is number 4 on your list and everybody else is more important than her, then I can probably say you're pretty sure that she won't be there forever. And so it is a constant, like, relationships are constant effort and constant work. And it's not just like, oh, we meet somebody, we marry, like we meet on the tour, we date for a week, we get proposed and engaged after a month, we marry in 6 months, and then we will be happy forever. That might work, but most of the time there's a little bit more you have to do to be successful in a relationship. So as I said, I'm getting really deep here into psychological dating and relationship success. So we don't have to get there further. As I said, it's very complex. Love and relationships are very complex. We see it every day, and especially internationally. So if you have questions, reach out. If you need help, support, you want one-on-one coaching, helping, working with me, with the team, just reach out. We do that. Yeah, we're not just a website where there's, you're right. No, we are real matchmakers, real agency, really helping you. And that is our aim. I want you to be successful. Okay. So let's get maybe into a couple of your questions, and also in one of our first interviews, and then we'll get to the subject of the day. So let me see. Eric Lee. Hello, Eric Lee. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for tuning in and sending the updates about the flight. That's amazing. So guys, Thanksgiving is coming up, so that's a good weekend to come and visit again. If you have been here, if you had a connection, keep in mind keeping up that connection. So consider flying on Thanksgiving Day. Cleveland to Medellin is 3:44 round trip on Spirit on Thanksgiving Day. No one flies on Thanksgiving Day, and everything is wide open in Colombia. That is true. So 3:44 round trip. So that is cheap from Cleveland to Medellin. Okay, and I'm sure there will be pretty much other connections as well. Medellin is a good hub. There are good connections to Medellin. You can go, I think, from Miami as well, and so there should be direct flights. Mark, good evening, Mark. How are you doing tonight? Did you stay in the same hotel as the tour? Myself, yes. And also Alexandra is staying in the same hotel as the tour. And so, yes, we will be there the whole week, staying on floor number 8. So if you're looking for us. So I'm at, that's where we're having, where the restaurant is and where we're going to set up the computer. So this week we're going to not also be in the office, we're going to be in the hotel with you, so that you can set up your dates with us easier. The hotel is not that far from the office, but you need to take a taxi, so we come to the hotel. Eric is asking, Eric again, who hosts the AFA conference call prior to the tour? It is Michelle, usually with the office manager. So in this time, last time it was Michelle with Manuela. Next one will be November, Cartagena, so it will be Michelle with ladies, with the office manager. So you have the Phoenix representative and the city representative. And so if you have questions about the city, about the weather, what not to bring or what to bring, ladies, or last thing, Manuela is the person to talk to. And obviously Michelle, she has been years and years with us and has a lot of experience. So any questions about tours, she can help you a lot to answer. So one question here from Anthony. Do women who have children need a signed documentation from the child's father giving consent to leave the country? Is there any drama with women who have kids with the child father? So first question to answer, yes. If she wants to leave the country and the father is in the picture and she doesn't have custody or the last name, the child doesn't have her last name, then she needs a consent from the father of the child. Is there any drama with women who have kids with a child's father? Most of the times there's no drama, because often really the men are not so much in the picture. Sometimes they don't even support economically. So if he doesn't support economically, I think there's one quote: he doesn't pay. She has the right to get an attorney. She can get an attorney and gets the right to get single custody, or can start the process. It's very strict here. So if he already doesn't pay for 1 or 2 quotes, she already can make things more easily, that she can get, like, that he's not really involved in it. If he does pay, great. But as I said, most of the men are not even in the picture, so they don't really care too much, unfortunately. And if they care, often they are at pro that, because they usually know that their child has good opportunities. If, for example, she gets married to an American and the child goes with her to the United States, and then he also gets the child gets good education, gets good opportunities in life, and most of the fathers are open to that, especially if the relationship, depends obviously on the relationship they're having. It can obviously cause some drama. Some men might be jealous and don't want the child to leave and make it difficult for the woman. That can be the case. But in most of the cases, I haven't had problems. Like, really, it's most of the cases, if she talks about it with time ahead, and you talk about it with time ahead, don't let like 8 months pass, you're totally in love, everything is great. Like, talk about it from the beginning on. If you see there might be problems, then don't keep on digging. But most of the times I haven't seen that it has been a huge issue so far. Yeah, you do have to get the permit, obviously, and the father will not give probably the permit to anybody. You have to be in a relationship for a while and has to be serious, right? But and he has to be sure also that his child will be in good conditions. But as I said, most of the times I haven't had problems. Okay, then let's maybe start, guys. If you have any questions, write them, let me know. We're starting with the first interview from tonight. Let me see. Kelly is her name, and her ID is 212162. So I will be back in a couple of minutes, and then we talk a little bit more about love and how it is being in love or being obsessed with love. I see you in a couple of minutes, guys.
Buenas noches, aquí estamos en nuestro evento Medellín y yo me encuentro acá con Kelly. Kelly's ID es 212162, caballeros, si la quieren conocer, 212162. Y bueno, Kelly, cuéntame un poquito sobre ti, cuántos años tienes y qué haces.
Mirando la cámara.
Mirando la cámara.
Bueno, buenas noches, mi nombre es Kelly. Tengo 39 años, soy estilista y cosmetóloga, estudio enfermería.
¿Tienes hijos?
Tengo 2 maravillosos hijos, son hombres, tienen 20 años y 12 años.
Oh, ya está, uno está grande ya.
Sí,
okay. Y cuéntame un poco, ahora tú estás aquí en esta agencia para buscar qué.
Más que un hombre extranjero, yo lo que busco es una pareja. Un hombre muy estable, muy responsable, que tenga mucha empatía, muchísima lealtad.
Ok, entonces, ¿y qué puedes ofrecer tú a este hombre como novia, esposa, día mañana? ¿Qué ofreces en una relación?
Soy una mujer muy comprometida. Para mí, algunos de los valores que más me interesa es la lealtad y la empatía. Tendría mucha lealtad, mucho amor, mucho cariño. Soy muy consentidora, muy apapachadora, muy tierna, muy detallista, muy romántica. Les tendría muchísimas cosas.
Ah, qué bueno. ¿Y cómo muestras ese romanticismo, ese cariño, ese pechichón?
Siempre lo demuestro con palabras, con hechos, con detalles, en una fecha especial. Nunca se me salen de la mente las fechas especiales, reconociéndole el valor, reconociéndole los valores.
Entonces le dices como cosas bonitas,
Sí,
todos los
soy
días.
demasiado detallista, soy demasiado atenta, detallista, cariñosa, demasiado.
Y ahora, tú sabes, el hombre le mata a una mujer que también sabe cocinar. ¿Te gusta cocinar? ¿Sí?
Me gusta cocinar, pero no me gusta hacer mandado. O sea, cocino, me encanta cocinar, que todo esté ahí cerquita.
Pero no de como mandado desde allá.
No, como de que voy a pensar qué hacer de comer, pero tengo que ir a comprar algo, pero tengo que ya comer. En cambio, si yo abro la nevera y está todo, me gusta mucho hacer de comer, me gusta hacer tortas o postres, cositas diferentes como para el alguito o la merienda.
¿Y qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre, un fin de semana?
A mí me gusta muchísimo patinar. Me gusta mucho patinar, me gusta ir al gimnasio, me gusta el senderismo, me gusta mucho los ríos, los charcos, el mar. Me encanta la naturaleza, salir a caminar, conocer pueblos, me encantan.
Entonces, es una persona muy activa.
Sí, demasiado.
Sí,
Demasiado.
está haciendo cosas todo el tiempo,
Sí,
parece.
sí.
Lo bueno.
Y amo mi profesión.
Sí.
A mi profesión la amo y me encanta.
¿Qué haces? Perdón, ¿no tú eres?
Estilista y cosmetóloga.
Y estudiaste, dijiste también.
Sí,
De enfermería.
siempre. Estoy estudiando enfermería.
Luego, si te encanta tu profesión, ¿por qué estás estudiando enfermería?
Tiene mucho que ver.
Ok.
Porque las estilistas y las cosmetólogas no podemos hacer ciertos procesos invasivos, como un tratamiento capilar. Entonces no podemos hacer procesos invasivos si no sabemos de enfermería o si no somos enfermeras.
¿En serio? No sabía.
Por ejemplo, si yo te voy a aplicar plasma en el cuero cabelludo, yo no puedo, porque yo no soy enfermera.
¿En serio?
Yo no me puedo tomar esas atribuciones. Y en todo lo que hago, lo hago con mucha ética, con mucha responsabilidad. Por eso estudiar enfermería.
Qué bueno, no tenía ni idea, pero qué bueno.
Sí, lo mismo
muy
para,
profesional, la verdad.
para ser cosmetóloga. Si yo voy a aplicar un plasma en el rostro o voy a una bichectomía o cualquier proceso
sí.
en el rostro,
Sí.
con ser simplemente cosmetóloga
Sí.
no podemos.
Ok,
La verdad, no estamos avaladas para eso. Si lo hacen de una forma no responsable.
Sí.
Por eso estoy estudiando enfermería, porque necesito darle a mis usuarias algo muy seguro.
Eso está muy, muy bueno, la verdad, y muy interesante también. Y ahora, para el hombre, ¿cierto? O el hombre que tú que buscas, ¿tienes una edad máxima que puede tener o estás abierta? ¿Cómo es?
No, no tengo ni edad, ni prototipo, ni país, ni color.
Ni color, tampoco religión.
No, no.
Ok. Sea la conexión es lo que es
Sí,
importante.
que tenga muchísimos valores.
Pero tú sí te quieres casar.
Sí, sí estoy en la idea de casarme, sino que no soy de que al mes ya me voy a casar.
Sí, como
no,
es
no.
un proceso.
Dar el proceso que toda relación se da.
Sí.
En la mujer que me dé el lugar que yo merezco y dar ese lugar que ellos merecen.
Sí.
No a la loca y así, porque así no.
Sí. ¿Y te gustaría tener más hijos o ya no?
Por la edad,
Sí.
pues por la edad tengo 39 años,
Pues.
para estar en embarazo y criar un bebecito.
Ya tienes todo, pues,
Y
obviamente.
tengo dos. Entonces como que es un poco
No, si tú dices que no, está todo bien.
dificultad. Pero si esa persona de pronto no puede tener hijos o no tiene hijos, quizás a una adopción.
Sí,
Estaría,
abierta.
sí.
Qué bueno. Y la última pregunta, ¿estarías abierto a mudarte a otro país o no?
Sí, sí, sí. Sí estaría y me gustaría mucho. Pero antes de 3 años no lo haría, por la edad de mi hijo menor.
Ah, ya, ok.
Para mí es muy importante mis hijos. Y yo hago todo lo que pueda, siempre y cuando cumpla primero como mamá. Entonces, cuando mi hijo tenga 15 años, ya está un poquito más independiente.
Sí.
Ya puedo empezar a mirar la opción, documentación, todo.
Igual el proceso, yo te digo ahora en este momento, hasta cuando uno si tú conoces a alguien hoy, formas una relación, en algún momento aplican por una visa, lleva mínimo 1 año y medio, 2 años, antes de esto no vas a estar en otro
Y es
país.
un tiempo
Entonces,
prudente.
sí,
Y es
sí.
un tiempo prudente no para yo estar segura con quién estoy.
Sí.
Es para el chico también. Es
También,
seguridad
ambos,
para el
claro.
hombre que me conozca,
Claro.
que sepa con qué clase de mujer está,
Sí, claro.
que aprenda a valorar la persona que tiene.
Sí. Bueno, Kelly, muchas gracias. Queremos mandar un pequeño saludo. Chao, chao, les esperamos.
Okay, guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the interview. And you sent a couple of more questions here, so let me get to that, and then we get about our theme of the night. So, Mark is asking, how do you handle a date if it starts raining? Most of the dates, Mark, are in a restaurant or in a place. Like most of the times you're inside. Like it's not that often that you're outside. Maybe some people go to the beach. For example, in Barranquilla or Cartagena, that's a possibility that you do someday going to the beach and it might start raining. At the coast, usually it's not that big of a deal because it's warm. So it's not cold, it's always hot. So even if it rains, it's sometimes here with people rain, for example, they just stay in the water. I mean, if it's not a thunderstorm or right, so lightnings and all of that, if it just rain, because sometimes it rains 10, 20 minutes and then it's gone. But for example, you're in Bogota or Medellin and it starts raining, like most of the time, I think you just ask what we're going to do. Let's take a taxi, get somewhere, go inside, because getting wet for the woman is not the greatest thing, obviously, especially if she does her hair, her makeup, and all of that. So obviously she would like to avoid the rain. But anyway, most first dates are inside a restaurant. Like, I would say 90% of our dates in the beginning, you meet in the beginning in the office. She signs your background form, and then you go with or without the translator to a restaurant, and you take a taxi most of the times, or an Uber. So it is not that big of a deal. Blue is asking, what is the weather like in January in Colombia? It's perfect. December to March is like the best time to travel, or November till April, but December to March, because it is not as hot. It is there's a breeze. It's windy season, so there's always a fresh breeze, especially at the coast, especially Cartagena, Barranquilla. The energy is great because it's high season, so there are a lot of people traveling. There are a lot of things going on. Everything is open. There are a lot of concerts, live music. It's like the best time of the year. January, February. January is obviously a little bit more expensive, especially the first 15 days, because it's obviously between New Year's and Christmas and the first 10 days of the New Year, vacation time. It's high season, but it's a great weather. I would definitely, especially Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Cartagena is a great time, but Medellin as well. Really nice. Eric, the AFA conference call for 2 members is very beneficial, especially for first-time travelers. Thank you, Eric, for giving your feedback there. I think so too. And even if you cannot make it on the conference call, you can always send us questions. We also do, in the last couple of tours, we have been opening a WhatsApp group for the tour members. So if you have questions, you can ask there. You connected there. Every manager, every matchmaker is in the group. And so, we're also talking in the group. I just, like, when you listen to the interview, I was just checking the group. There were some restaurant recommendations close to the hotel, so things like that. So we are in constant communication with you, men, and obviously with the women too. So let's get into our theme for the night. The theme for the night is how to distinguish between being in love and being obsessed with love, right? So what is the difference there? And sometimes it's challenging to determine what is right now going on, because both experience can generate intense emotions. So, but the emotions are different, right? So I'm going to talk about that a little bit, so that you can understand your feelings and emotions, and maybe determine if you're in a healthy spot, or if you maybe should get some help and see or change the situation, because maybe it's not beneficial for you. So how does it feel being in love, right? How is being in love? What is that like? Some of you guys, sometimes I work with men, say, I've never been in love. So don't think that everybody knows how it is to be in love. Some people have no idea. So how does it feel to be in love? Generally, it's a positive and healthy feeling. So love is often a positive and healthy emotion. You feel happy, content, emotionally connected. You're positive when you are with a person or thinking about the person you love, right? So it's a good feeling. Doesn't feel heavy. Mutual respect and care. So when you are in love, so talking about still being in love, you have usually deep respect for that person and care for the other person. You want what's best for that person. It doesn't have to be best for you, best for that person, and willing to make sacrifices for their well-being. That is also very important, because sometimes I see that you guys, or women also see, women as well a lot, general people in a relationship feel that you don't have to make any sacrifice. The other person just has to sacrifice for you, and you do everything you want to do. That's not the case. I think relationships are, especially love relationships, are the place where you have to sacrifice most of yourself and really find a compromise. Maybe with your children, if you have children, maybe you even have more to sacrifice. But if you want to be with a different person, you have to sacrifice things from your own. If you want to live like you were single, with having another person on your side and doing exact the same things that when you were single, then you're probably not going to be successful in the relationship, because you want to care about that person. You have respect and you care about that. Okay, so obviously your actions should be the same, about that. A balanced relationship. In a loving relationship, there's a healthy balance between the time you spend with your partner and the time you dedicate to your own interests, relationships with your friends and family. So it's balance. It's not like you spend 100% of your time and your energy and your focus only on that person. You don't do only that sacrifice. You sacrifice, yes, you care about the person, but it's balanced, okay? It's healthy, you feel good about it, you do things on your own, you meet your friends, you talk to your friends, okay? And an open and honest communication. In a loving relationship, communication is typically open and honest. You can talk about your thoughts and feelings with sincerity and listen to your partner as well. So both feel safe enough to share, yeah, to open up. That's very important. Love is an open thing. It's not a closed thing, okay? And then what is the difference now if you're being obsessed with love or obsessed with the idea of being in love or in general love? So a constant need for attention. If you are obsessed with the idea of love, you may require constant attention from your partner and feel anxious and insecure when you don't receive it. So that is very important. You don't need that other person. That other person is a plus, right? You are fulfilled on your own. And then if that other person you can dedicate your time and energy to, that's great. You give the attention, you want obviously attention, but you're not needing it. You don't require it, right? It's positive. It's a plus. So so if you feel anxious, if you feel insecure when you don't receive a message from her, or she lets you know something, or she doesn't write for a couple of hours and you get like, oh no, I don't know what's going on, then it's more like being obsessed with love, right? And also a little bit insecure maybe. Excessive idealization. I hope I pronounced that well. Excessive idealization. You can idealize the person you love to the point of ignoring their flaws and or believing they are perfect. That can lead to disappointments when you face reality. And also that is a little bit with unrealistic expectations sometimes. So you can idealize the person to the point of ignoring their flaws and believing they are perfect. So this can lead to disappointment. That's very important too. That's a hint that you might be obsessed with love. Disregard for boundaries. Obsession can ignore you to ignore your partner's boundaries, or you feel justified in violating the privacy. This is detrimental to the relationship. So how often did we hear about a man who's stalking her, following her, looking at her, checking her phone, looking at every step she does, with who she talks? So that is a disregard of boundary. It's a disregard of privacy. Everybody has a right to privacy, and also that you trust that other person. Obviously, there are things she has to do and you have to do to build up the trust. I think we talked about that in one of the other shows, how you can build trust in a relationship and in a friendship. So it's obviously important that you trust that person, because then you don't have to feel so insecure. But respecting the privacy and not violating the privacy is a good sign. It's not only about you, it's also about the woman. I also see a lot of women who have that same, obviously, behavior. So don't think that it's just for the man, it's for everybody. Extreme sacrifice. At times, obsession can lead you to make extreme sacrifices for love, even if these sacrifices harm you emotionally or physically. So be careful there. Intense insecurity or jealousy. You may experience intense insecurity, I think I said that already, and jealousy, which can damage the relationship and lead to conflict. I've seen that so much, and I see it more with the Latin women than with you men. That jealousy is very normal here. It's part of the insecurity, obviously, and sometimes they just make up things. Like sometimes the women just made up things out of the air just to get attention and to feel loved and to feel reassured. And if that happens to you, have some patience. It happens because of the reason, also for yourself. Have patience with yourself. It happens for a reason. You do that because of something, because of a past experience, a past relationship, past trauma, whatever happened to you in even childhood, right, can cause that insecurity. And so that is something to look into. And obviously being jealous all the time and controlling all the time is not a healthy way, and not a healthy way of expressing love. Lack of balance in life. If you're obsessed with love, you may neglect other important areas of your life too, such as your career, friendships, or hobbies. So you might be getting so obsessed just with her and the relationship and her, you totally forget about yourself and everybody else in the world. And that is not healthy, right? So that is again the boundaries, insecurities, etc. So maybe look into yourself. Maybe there are some things. It doesn't have to be always the most extreme. Like you don't have to be a jealous stalker to see that. But there might be some things you see in your behavior. Say, yeah, maybe I should look into that. What happened there? Why I'm so insecure? Why do I feel so anxious? Why do I think I'm not good enough for her? Sometimes when it comes to age difference, I see that. Like if there's a 20-year age difference, I can see with a man a lot. Like they're very insecure because they're older. They're generally secure men, but now they're insecure that they're dating somebody younger, and because they're dating concerned that you may be obsessed with the idea of love rather than genuinely, sorry, I cannot talk today, genuinely, you're going to correct me, guys, tomorrow. I can see that I will ask you for that word. Being in love, it's important to reflect on your emotions and behaviors. Therapy or counseling can be helpful in understanding and addressing these concerns and issues. Ultimately, love should be an enriching experience that makes you feel happy and fulfilled, rather than causing anxiety or suffering. Yeah, so always try to feel, is it feeling positive? Do I feel happy? Is that good for me? And if she makes you feel all the time suffering, if you feel there's always drama, if you feel there's always jealousy, also from her side, talk, address it. Say, hey, I'm really feeling that. Do you think there was maybe something going on in the past that you're projecting right now on me? Because I have not given you any reason to be jealous, but I can feel that you are jealous. What's going on? How can I help you? How can I show you that I'm here? How can I show you that I'm not going to make you any harm? But address it, right? Address it to her and address it for yourself. Because both people, everybody has traumas, everybody has problems. Even if you had a good childhood, there might have been things in your past that your mom said, your dad said, your neighbor said, your brother said, whoever said something to you that can cause some, even sometimes it's just one phrase like, oh wow, why you're always such a lazy bastard, whatever, right? Your cousin said in joke 20 years ago. And you take it like, oh wow, I'm a lazy bastard. Sorry, I'm just wrong wording here, but I'm just saying, right? Whatever anybody said to you, they sometimes even don't mean it, or it was just whatever 20 years ago in a context, nothing to you would think it is important, but sometimes those things can have a big effect. And I know that you men are not often that open to look into things because men have to be strong, don't have to show feelings. I don't think we are in that area right now anymore. I don't think we are in 2023. I think men can show their feelings. Women love that men show their feelings, and we love men who take care of their emotions and their psychological baggage. Like also men enjoy that and welcome that in a woman, right? So it's not about being the strong man who doesn't talk about anything and I can handle everything on my own. No, you can get help, you can get support, and that's totally normal and it's healthy. Okay, so don't think it's not healthy to ask for support. It can be a coach, can be a therapist, it can be whatever, what helps you, right, to get you to help you to feel fulfilled and feeling happy. Okay, and making the inner work, making your own work is an important part of dating. So if you have questions, needs, help, let me know. As I said, we're working on the program in the Elite Club. We do that quite a bit as well. We're getting into everything of relationships. You and me, we talk for a couple of hours about past and future things and past relationships and what happened, what didn't work, why, whatever. Like we talk a lot about it, and we help you there. And as I said, I would love to support you more on that too. But it doesn't matter if I support you. Important is that you recognize it. That's the first step, and see, okay, I have an issue there or something is wrong and I might need help. And that is the first step. And then from there, everything else is possible. You can obviously stay in the same thing over and over again, but you will see you will repeat it in your relationships over and over again. So if you have a pattern, if you have had it in the past, and most of you guys have it, then try to see that pattern and then you can change it. If you haven't recognized it, if you haven't been conscious about it, it's very difficult to change. So first step is recognizing, okay, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling insecure. Why is that? And then go and look for the why. Okay. So let me see if you have any questions. Squishy Plums, being in love is like winning the lottery. Yes, it feels like winning the lottery. Everything is good, everything is easy. But sometimes it's not just about the easy and the good and the love. It's about like being confident and that other person, because sometimes you might get into struggles, right? Not every relationship is perfect. No relationship is perfect. And we all have problems in our relationships. So even if you have a bad time or a struggling time or challenge in your relationship, it's still about not being in this tight place of suffering and anxiety. It's about that place, okay, how can we do that? I'm excited to solve that with you. I'm happy to get to that point where you and me talk and we solve our problems, right? It's still a positive, proactive thing from both sides. And also see the signs if that other person doesn't want to work with you. If you're doing everything and she doesn't do anything, or the other way around, right? So be healthy is also to at some point say, hey, that makes no sense. I'm giving you everything and it doesn't make me just feel bad and it's not getting anything in return. And so at some point it's also, hey, this is my limit. Boundaries. Yeah. Captain Cisco is saying the older you get, the harder it is to fall in love. I don't know. Is that the truth? Maybe you have more traumas, more past experiences that make you more cautious. Yes, maybe you do not take the first person crossing your way and not like realizing and looking really into, can this person make me happy? But I don't think it's getting more difficult. I mean, let me, you guys know, I see guys every day falling in love any age. I don't see that it's getting difficult to fall in love. I think just we're getting a little bit more cautious. But if you can be conscious about why you're cautious and not projecting everything that happened to you in the past on that new person, because that's what we're going to do. Oh, she cheated on me. My ex-wife cheated on me in the past. So you're going to do the same. So now I'm jealous and now I don't trust you. That's not that fair because she was not the one cheating on you. That was your ex-wife, right? And it doesn't mean that the new one is going to do the same. And if you're going to be obsessive and insecure and all that, then you're going to destroy a good portion of the relationship. So obviously, trust has to be built, but you don't project everything, just what happened in the past, just on the new person, because then it's just not fair. Yeah. I have never had the experience in over 30 years, Mark saying, yes, I know there are a lot of men who have never had the experience of falling in love. And then also that's possible that maybe you haven't met the right one. That's possible. Maybe you're very selective. That's possible too. But also maybe you don't permit yourself sometimes to be in love and to open up. And that is what I see with most of the men. It's not a thing that you don't want to. It's just a thing of trust, of not being able to open up, of not being able to really think it's possible. And then also like just closing yourself unconsciously. Might be very often unconsciously. It's like, I know most of men would say, why would I do that? I want love. I want a woman. I want that. Yes, I hear a lot of men who also say they want to get married, but they don't. I mean, they say they want, they think they want, but in their inner unconscious thing, they don't want that. And society puts a lot of pressure on us in general to fulfill certain roles and to fulfill certain things in life. But if you don't want to get married and you don't want to, that's totally fine. That is your life. You don't have to, right? Nobody, just because your parents or your brother or your neighbor or your best friend thinks you should fall in love and get married and you just want to be single, I mean, that's totally fine. But think about if you want to be single because you really want to be single, or are you wanting to be single because you're scared? And that is totally fine. And I know men don't want to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm afraid that somebody can rip my heart open and out of my chest. And then I'm there and I'm suffering and I don't want that. So I'm closing. Women do that too. It's not just men. But, you know, if you never give yourself the opportunity really to feel that, to open up and to be in love and to fall in love, it's one of the most beautiful feelings in the world. And yeah, you might get hurt. Yes. Love is not easy. Relationships are not easy, but believe me, it's an enriching experience and you learn from it. And I'm not saying learning from I'm closing up. No, learning from, okay, I learn from what I did not, what was my limitations, my responsibilities, make it better next time. But I'm not blocking love. I'm not blocking my heart. I'm not letting love in. And it takes time. It doesn't have to be in 1 week on a tour, right? It doesn't have to be like that. It can take years. It can take months. It does take time to build up a relationship, but it doesn't mean it's not possible. Okay, so think about something to think about. Lots of psychological talk tonight, guys. I know it hasn't been the easiest and most light show we usually do, but maybe it's something to think about. And if you have questions, if you need help, if you want to work more closely and looking into those things, I'm happy to help you. We can discuss what you need, right? And then we can organize a little bit and helping you. Okay, so I love that squishy plums. Being in love is like winning the lottery. I love that. So think about winning the lottery, and then everybody wants to win the lottery, right? Everybody says, wow, winning the lottery. So why would you close your heart if you can win the lottery? So, and if you want to win the lottery, you have to open your heart. If not, it's not going to happen. So you have or safety or you're winning the lottery. And yeah, it's your choice. Okay. How do you know the woman you're interested in Colombia hasn't sold herself on the streets? Okay, that is now a completely different thing. Let me see if we have another comment and then I get into that. I disagree. Men showing weakness to women will cause women to lose respect for men. I don't think so. I don't think at all. I mean, just ask a couple of women. I'm not saying that you're every day complaining and every day just talking about all your feelings in 24 hours. I'm not saying that. But if you're saying to a woman, hey, I'm scared to lose you, or I'm scared that that might happen, or what if, and I have been closing up, or I'm scared to open up to you because of that, I think for a woman that is a very enriching experience, and she can understand you because women want to connect, women want to talk, women want to understand you, and women want you raw feelings. We want that. We don't want the man who's closed. So I don't think showing, and it's not a weakness, I think it's a strength. So maybe depending on the woman, maybe depending on you, maybe depending how you communicate it, but I don't think that women want a man who's always strong. No. I don't think so. Obviously, we want a man where we feel that he can be strong and protect us, but we also want a man who's able to show feelings. I like being married, and then after I like being single. That's good. Now I might want a kid, so maybe getting married again. That's good. It's all good. It's your life. You are not having to live your life according to the plan of other people. I know we do that often because we think we have to fulfill certain things, but you don't. If you want to be single all your life, why not? Who has to have a family if you don't want? If that's not your wish, don't do it. You know, if your wish is to get married, great. There are a lot of people nowadays who don't want to get married, but they do want to be in a relationship. So just do you what makes you happy, but talk to you yourself. And as I said, I am on the tour asking always, guys, who wants to get married here? And are you sure? Is it just what you're saying, or do you really want to get married? Because I do see a lot of men who say they want to get married, but they act completely different. So just review yourself. You don't have to, like, it's just you, it's your life, right? So you don't have to show me a different thing and tell me a different thing. I don't care. I mean, if you want to be single, you'll be single. And if you want to get married, I help you to get married, right? So it's not about me, it's about you. And not about anybody else, right? Because I'm just saying now me, but I'm not important there. But your family, your mother, your dad, whoever is close to you might be important there. Okay. What else? Music is asking, when do we know next year's schedule? Music, the schedule is on the site. So you can go to loveme.com on the dating schedule, Latin tours schedule. And I think not only the Latin tours, I think all of the tours are on the website already. And let me just open it up for a moment so that I can let you know what will be the dates. So 2 dates for Latin America. So we have for next year, Barranquilla is the first tour of the year, January 25th. January 25th to January 31st. And then if the 7 days and 10 days and 14 days, then we have Medellin 1 month later, February 22nd. And then obviously there are more Latin tours, right? I'm just telling you the Colombian ones, but there is Peru, there's Costa Rica, Peru in March, Costa Rica in March. We have Cartagena in April. Then we have Medellin in June. We have Mexico City as well in the middle. We have then Barranquilla in July. So Barranquilla in January, Medellin in February, Cartagena in April, Medellin in June, Barranquilla in July, Medellin in August, and Cartagena in October, end of October. So that will be, we have 7 tours next year, or 8 tours. I don't know. 8, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter. 5, 6, 7, 8 tours next year, if I count it right now. So yeah, a lot of opportunities nearly every other month, right? 12-month, 8 tours. So there's a lot of opportunities to go on a tour. Let me see, next question. So the woman who going to sold herself on the streets. So Ben, good question. How do you know if the woman you're interested in Colombia hasn't sold herself on the streets? So if AFA, usually before the woman goes on the website, they prove, different people prove different edit, like there are like 4 people approving profiles, right? So in the process, 4 different people approving each profile. So one, it's even more. I think we have like 6 people if we involve the office people as well. So we have the person uploading the profile, we have the person reviewing the profile with the pictures, we have the person reviewing that all the connection, all the numbers, all the passport number, her ID is correct. Then we have the person who is looking if she is on added sites, right? So if she's doing webcam or stuff like that, it comes up. We have staff who looks on if she's on OnlyFans. So if there are if she's on any adult website, she's not going on AFA, right? So if we find her, it might be that we don't find her, but most of the times we do find her and she doesn't go on there, right? So that is one of the first filters we have for you, so you can be feeling at least sure that she hasn't been on any adult websites. If she has been working now on the street, that can be a little more difficult to determine. That can happen. It has happened. I don't want to lie to you. She tells me she is a dentist and she isn't, right? And for example, a client told me, it happened to me, for example, one time, a client was on a date with a woman and a different man, he was an Italian man, he came to one of our translators who was there on the day and said, hey, please tell that man he shouldn't go out with her because I don't think she's really interested in marriage. She has been doing other things. And we didn't know. And I said, oh, wow, thank you so much for letting me know. I let the client know. And obviously we took her off right away. So it can happen. We make our best that it doesn't happen, but always always get to know the person, right? It's just, it's not that you just completely blindly believe whatever she tells you. And that is in general, right? Not only in Colombia, in every country in the world, but most of the women are very genuine. Most of the women are very honest, but there are women who aren't. And so we try our best to filter. We know, especially the new ones, we don't know. A lot of the older ones we know. We see their status, we see their Instagram stories, their WhatsApp status, their Facebooks. We have all their social media. We look what they're doing in their day-to-day life, and we can give you pretty good advice there. But especially the new ones, sometimes really they tell us one thing and then they act a different thing, right? Or different way. So please always get to know the person, check for yourself, ask the right questions, get to know her family, get to know her home, get to know her friends, get her social media, see what she's doing, how is she communicating, what does she tell you, what is she asking for, how is the manipulation going or not. So there are lots of little and big signs you can see in the first week already. Okay, so don't believe blindly, don't trust blindly. As I said, trust has to build up. And so we make the best we can. We try to look into everything we can, but it can happen. Okay, so I don't want to lie to you. It can happen. So you never know. And make sure you get to know that person really deeply. Okay, and it's a different culture than yours. So sometimes they're really good in hiding and manipulating. Maria, you have excellent speaking skills. Thank you so much. That is very nice. I hope I don't bore you here because I'm talking too much on every show. I'm really sorry, guys. I hope it's helpful for you. I don't want to bore you with the whole psychological talk here. So let's maybe finish for tonight as well. We have 2 more interviews and then I'll be back for just 2 more minutes And then we are finished and we're getting ready for the tour tomorrow. If you still want to sign up for November, we still have spots left for Cartagena November. It's a beautiful country, beautiful city, beautiful women. But let's start with two of our interviews, and then we are nearly finished for tonight. So we have Maria and Marcela. Maria speaks English, very good English. I think you will be really liking her. Marcela is a great woman, looking for very serious and man as well. Both of them looking for a serious relationship. So Maria, her ID is 209320, and then we have Marcela 215907. So I see you about in 10 minutes, guys.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Marcela, tengo 34 años, soy de la ciudad de Medellín, tengo una empresa que es de decoración del hogar, trabajo más o menos con esta empresa hace 3-4 años, soy independiente, comerciante, tengo una bebé de 2 años, se llama Emilia.
Would you be willing to have children?
Sí, me encantaría. Si encuentro un hombre especial, un hombre con quien tener una buena familia y un hogar estable, la tendría.
What are your hobbies?
Bueno, me encanta salir a pasear, conocer lugares, salir a pueblos, me encanta compartir en familia, con mi hija primordialmente, me encanta hacer deporte también cuando tengo algo de tiempo por mi trabajo, me encanta también como salir a divertirme de vez en cuando, ocasional.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
Sí, sé cocinar. No soy la más experta, pero sí, sé cocinar muchísimas cosas básicas también, pues como de mi cultura. Y sí, sé cocinar. Me encanta la comida de mar, me encanta la comida italiana, las pastas me fascinan, aunque como de todo, me encanta comer, es muy rico.
What are you looking for in the agency?
Bueno, estoy acá porque quisiera encontrar un hombre especial, un hombre diferente, un hombre que ya esté centrado, que quiera una relación estable, que sea un hombre hogareño, un hombre enfocado, que le gusten los niños, un hombre que ya de verdad quiera una estabilidad tanto emocional como una estabilidad de hogar, de familia, y por eso descubrí esta empresa y pues muy ansiosa de conocer ese principio.
What do you have to offer in a relationship?
Bueno, me considero una mujer muy buena, una mujer trabajadora, una mujer sincera, buena mamá, buena ama de casa, soy una mujer divertida, también me gusta mucho salir y ser como una pareja, ser novia también, a pesar de tener de pronto una estabilidad ya de tiempo con esa persona, me encanta siempre mantener como ese noviazgo, esa armonía en una relación. Me considero una muy buena mujer, una mujer centrada, que ya sabe lo que quiere, una mujer que es madura, que ya tiene sus metas muy claras y eso lo tengo para ofrecer.
How would you describe yourself?
Fiel, trabajadora, honesta, linda.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
Sí. Con mi hija, por supuesto.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
Creo que Mykonos es un lugar divino, me encantaría conocerlo.
What attracts you in a man?
Bueno, primero que sea honesto, que ya sea un hombre que tenga sus metas muy claras, que primero también que le encanten los niños, que sea muy respetuoso por ellos, porque tengo una bebé y para mí es lo primero, o sea, un hombre que respete a mi hija siempre va a ser lo ideal. Un hombre amoroso, un hombre que no fume, no me gusta un hombre que fume, que sea divertido, que me quiera, que sea leal y que quiera una relación linda y especial.
How do you show love?
En el día a día, en mi forma de expresarme con él, de quererlo, de cuidarlo. Me considero una mujer muy detallista y atenta con la persona. Cuando realmente me enamoro y me veo en una relación estable, considero que soy una mujer muy detallista y muy dedicada a mi pareja.
Are you dominant or submissive?
Dominante. Los invito a que vengan a Medellín a conocerme, a conocer la ciudad, a conocer toda esta cultura tan hermosa y estas mujeres que estamos esperando para conocer unos lindos caballeros reales y honestos. Que se animen a conocerme porque realmente soy una mujer muy completa y que ya deseo una relación, que tengo mis metas muy claras y mi enfoque en lo que quiero y creo que soy una mujer 10.
Hey, my name is Maria. I am from Medellin, Colombia. I own a dance studio here in the city. I am 40 years old and I love traveling. I love dogs also, and I love having a good and a healthy lifestyle.
How would you describe yourself?
I am a woman that is super independent, confident, smart, kind, loving, passionate. I love life, I love learning. I have to be challenged mentally. I love keeping a healthy lifestyle. I love arts. I love being amazed by everything that the world has to offer.
Would you be willing to have children?
I don't have kids and I don't want to have kids.
Do you have pets?
I have a pet, her name is Molly. She's a huge pit bull. I love her. I rescued her a couple of years ago, so I love dogs.
What are you looking for in the agency?
In the agency, I'm looking to find the love of my life. I have been married before, I'm separated right now, and I'm looking for the love of my life.
What attracts you in a man?
So my dream guy is a guy that is independent, that is smart, successful, drama-free because I hate drama. I am super stable. I'm looking for something stable also. A guy that can makes me laugh and that loves traveling because I love traveling also, and that loves dogs also.
What do you have to offer in a relationship?
So I can make our couple a very strong and powerful couple. I mean, I love to support my guy, and I love also feeling the support of my guy. I think that work is not everything in life. It has to be balanced, okay? So we play, but we work also. So I'm ready to bring love, honesty, just dream and plan the future together and enjoy the rest of our lives together.
How do you show love?
I show love by touch because I work with my body because I am a dancer. I own a dance studio, so I have to hug, I have to kiss, and I have to just prove and show my love through my body, but also by actions. I mean, communication for me is key. So part of loving is just being able to communicate with your partner. And also just support and listening. This is how I show love.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
I love cooking and I love staying at home and cooking with my partner, but I love also exploring new restaurants, and I just love all kind of vegetables. I am vegetarian and I have been vegetarian for like almost 20 years, but I eat fish now and then. My favorite food is all kinds of vegetables, all maybe Indian food, Arabic food, I love it.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
So I cannot relocate right now, but I'm open to do it in the future. I'm working in a project that I have right now in the city, but I am open to the idea in the near future.
Are you dominant or submissive?
So I am pretty independent at work, but at home, I love that my guy is the leader that can give me advices or tips. So it's like 50-50. I'm super independent in my work, but also I need a very strong and powerful guy besides me.
What are those non-negotiables?
So my non-negotiables are that, for example, if my guy smokes, or if my guy doesn't like to have a healthy lifestyle, also lies and treason and this, I'm not cool with anything of that.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
So my dream destination right now could be Asia or could be Europe also. I have been traveling often, so just any country that we haven't been able to see together, I would love to go with you. So if you are there and if you see that you can match with me, I mean, if we have enough stuff in common, I would love to meet you, and I would love to get a coffee and have a coffee with you so we can talk and have our first date. So see you later. See you in our first date, okay? Ciao, ciao.
Recording in progress.
So guys, I hope you really enjoyed those two interviews. I think they're really great women, great age, looking for the right person, the right things in life. And yeah, hope you're getting interested. As you know, you can set up a date with them. We can help you to get in touch. So just let us know anything you need to know. Just reach out. It's info@afacolombia@gmail.com. Or you call us, as I said, 602-553-8178 in the United States. And so, yeah, looking forward. If you have any questions, how to get in touch, how to meet somebody, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, which service should be the best one, why Colombia or why a different country, just let us know. There was a question here. If you can make payments on individual tours, yes, definitely you can make payments on individual tours. We have 3 different kind of individual tour if you don't want to do the group tour experience. And for most of you guys who need a little bit, want to look more into the relationship and the dating and the personal things, then often I would not recommend you the tour at all. If you need more support from us as matchmakers, don't go on the tour. Why? The tour is a great experience, as I said, for first time coming, but it's also a group experience. So there are a lot of people at the same time we're going to take and help and attend. So if you do an individual tour, it's more individual, it's more for you, and you might get more resorts. It's different. It's a different service. So as I said, if you have questions, ask, no problem. Individual tour, there is individual introductions. That means you pay per introduction as you go. So for example, you go to Barranquilla and you want 3 introductions, you can pay for 3 introductions. And if you then want to go and pay more, no problem. We recommend you, the office manager recommends you as well, women in the office. The same as with the Latin club. That is package. It's basically individual introductions, but it's up to 20 introductions in 1 week. So if you know that you want to make more than 10 introductions, that package makes sense for you because you're going to get a discount. It's going to be much cheaper if you go more quantity, right? But if you say I only want 5, then don't do the Latin club, then just pay per introduction. Okay. And then we have the Elite Club, and the Elite Club is a personalized matchmaking program, which takes about 3 months. There's a lot of prior matchmaking, while matchmaking, and after matchmaking too, and helping you and assisting you a little bit more on all the interpersonal, intercommunication, intercultural challenges you might face. And you and me, we talk every week on a Zoom call. So you get every week feedback, every week tips and advice from me. So that is a great program too. And as I said, going to develop the one you're going to get more support. So I don't know if there was one question, why so few profiles from Colombia, Mexico City, and Peru, which are AFA tour destination, but lots from the Ukraine and even Brazil. Not complaining, but just wondering. So there is the ones who don't know, maybe AFA has a very individual structure. So there are AFA offices and affiliate offices. So AFA offices are only in Latin America, Peru, Costa Rica, and Colombia. Mexico is not an AFA office. It's an AFA tour destination, but it's not an office. It's an affiliate partner. And so just keep that in mind. It's not the same. And that's why we're getting right now a lot of profiles from Brazil and other parts in Ukraine, because there are a lot of affiliates. There were not so many affiliates in Latin America. We're getting more from Argentina, Brazil, and Venezuela and Mexico, as you can see. But the offices where we know the woman, where we do the matchmaking, where we help you, obviously the affiliates do that too. But as I said, I would recommend you the AFA offices. What is the minimum initial payment for an individual tour to Colombia or to Europe? So there is not a minimum initial payment, Melchizedek. If you do the Latin club, it's full payment. The price is 1,695 for 7 days, 1,895 for 10 days, and I think 2,095 for 14 days. There you pay full. But if you have to cancel for any reason or something, you can, I think, reschedule for up to 2 years without losing your credit. If you do individual introductions, so if you don't do the Latin club, if not, you want to pay by date, the minimum you have to pay is for 1 introduction with a membership fee that would get into 275. So 275 is the minimum for 1 date, and then it's 125 for every additional one. And so keep that in mind. And for the Elite Club, you usually can do 2 or 3 payments. So the Elite Club is $8,000 or $9,000, depending on the option you're choosing. And you can do that in 2 or 3 payments. So depending on the program you're choosing, it's a little bit different each payment. But if you need advice or if you need to rearrange something, talk to us and we can see what we can do. But yeah, Latin Club is usually full-in payment. Individual introduction is minimum $275, and the Elite Club is minimum $3,000 to start with. So yeah, guys, I hope I answered all your questions tonight. Looking forward, hopefully meeting you in person here in Colombia or in any other places of the world, and helping you getting matchmaking, a connection, finding love. And yeah, hopefully see you soon again. I'll be in that Medellin tour from tomorrow on. We'll be back next week, and Manuela's going to do the show next Wednesday, so I see you in 2 weeks. If you have any questions in the meanwhile, write an email, talk to us, reach out. Don't sit at home and just wait that love is going to happen to you. You have to do something to find love, and sometimes you have to take that leap of faith, right? And it doesn't mean that you're always going to be safe, right, in your heart, but it is you're going to get an enriching, beautiful, great experience coming here, meeting, dating, open your heart, and getting to know, get out of your comfort zone is amazing. You're going to not regret it. And yeah, looking forward seeing you soon, guys, and have a really good evening the rest of the week. Bye bye.
Buenas noches, aquí estamos en nuestro evento Medellín y yo me encuentro acá con Kelly. Kelly's ID es 212162, caballeros, si la quieren conocer, 212162. Y bueno, Kelly, cuéntame un poquito sobre ti, cuántos años tienes y qué haces.
Mirando la cámara.
Mirando la cámara.
Bueno, buenas noches, mi nombre es Kelly. Tengo 39 años, soy estilista y cosmetóloga, estudio enfermería.
¿Tienes hijos?
Tengo 2 maravillosos hijos, son hombres, tienen 20 años y 12 años.
Oh, ya está, uno está grande ya.
Sí, gracias.
Y cuéntame un poco, ahora tú estás aquí en esta agencia para buscar qué.
Más que un hombre extranjero, yo lo que busco es una pareja. Un hombre muy estable, muy responsable, que tenga mucha empatía, muchísima lealtad.
Ok, entonces, ¿y qué puedes ofrecer tú a este hombre como novia, esposa, día mañana? ¿Qué ofreces en una relación?
Soy una mujer muy comprometida. Para mí, algunos de los valores que más me interesa es la lealtad y la empatía. Tendría mucha lealtad, mucho amor, mucho cariño. Soy muy consentidora, muy apapachadora, muy tierna, muy detallista, muy romántica. Les tendría muchísimas cosas.
Ah, qué bueno. ¿Y cómo muestras ese romanticismo, ese cariño, ese pechichón?
Siempre lo demuestro con palabras, con hechos, con detalles, en una fecha especial. Nunca se me salen de la mente las fechas especiales, reconociéndole el valor, reconociéndole los valores.
Entonces le dices como cosas bonitas,
Sí,
todos los
soy
días.
demasiado detallista, soy demasiado atenta, detallista, cariñosa, demasiado.
Y ahora, tú sabes, el hombre le mata a una mujer que también sabe cocinar. ¿Te gusta cocinar? ¿Sí?
Me gusta cocinar, pero no me gusta hacer mandados. O sea, cocino, me encanta cocinar, que todo esté ahí cerquita.
Pero no de como mandado desde allá.
No, como de que voy a pensar qué hacer de comer, pero tengo que ir a comprar algo, pero tengo que ya ir comer. En cambio, si yo abro la nevera y está todo, me gusta mucho hacer de comer, me gusta hacer tortas o postres, cositas diferentes como para el alguito o la merienda.
¿Y qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre, un fin de semana?
A mí me gusta muchísimo patinar. Me gusta mucho patinar, me gusta ir al gimnasio, me gusta el senderismo, me gusta mucho los ríos, los charcos, el mar. Me encanta la naturaleza, salir a caminar, conocer pueblos, me encanta.
Usted es una persona muy activa.
Sí, demasiado.
Sí,
demasiado.
está haciendo cosas todo el tiempo, parece.
Sí.
Qué bueno.
Y amo mi profesión.
Sí.
A mi profesión la amo y me encanta.
¿Qué haces, perdón, otra vez?
Estilista y cosmetóloga.
¿Y estudias, dijiste también?
Sí,
¿De enfermería?
siempre. Estoy estudiando enfermería.
Luego, si te encanta tu profesión, ¿por qué estás estudiando enfermería?
Tiene mucho que ver.
Ok.
Porque las estilistas y las cosmetólogas no podemos hacer ciertos procesos invasivos, como un tratamiento capilar. Entonces no podemos hacer procesos invasivos si no sabemos de enfermería o si no somos enfermeras.
¿En serio? No sabía.
Por ejemplo, si yo te voy a aplicar plasma en el cuero cabelludo, yo no puedo, porque yo no soy enfermera.
¿En serio?
Yo no me puedo tomar esas atribuciones. Y en todo lo que hago, lo hago con mucha ética, con mucha responsabilidad. Por eso estudiar enfermería.
Qué bueno, no tenía ni idea, pero qué bueno.
Sí, lo mismo
muy
para,
profesional, la verdad.
para ser cosmetóloga. Si yo voy a aplicar un plasma en el rostro o voy a una bichectomía o cualquier proceso
sí.
en el rostro,
Sí.
con ser simplemente cosmetóloga
Sí.
no podemos.
Ok,
La verdad no estamos avaladas para eso. Si lo hacen de una forma no responsable. Por eso estoy estudiando enfermería, porque necesito darle a mis usuarias algo muy seguro.
Eso está muy bueno, la verdad, y muy interesante también. Y ahora, para el hombre, ¿cierto? O el hombre que tú que buscas, ¿tienes una edad máxima que puede tener o estás abierta? ¿Cómo es?
No tengo ni edad, ni prototipo, ni país, ni color.
Ni color, tampoco religión.
No.
Ok. Sea la conexión es lo que es
Sí,
importante.
que tenga muchísimos valores.
Pero tú sí te quieres casar.
Sí,
Sí.
sí estoy a la idea de casarme, sino que no soy de que al mes ya me voy a casar.
Sí, como
no,
es
no.
un proceso.
Dar el proceso que toda relación se da.
Sí.
En la mujer que me dé el lugar que yo merezco y dar ese lugar que ellos merecen.
Sí.
No a la loca y así, porque así no.
Sí. ¿Y te gustaría tener más hijos o ya no?
Por la edad,
Sí.
pues por la edad tengo 39 años.
Pues.
Para estar en embarazo y criar un bebecito.
Ya tienes todo, pues,
Y
obviamente.
tengo dos. Entonces como que es un poco
No, si tú dices que no, está todo
se
bien.
dificulta. Pero si esa persona de pronto no puede tener hijos o no tiene hijos, quizás a una adopción.
Sí,
Estaría,
abierta.
sí.
Qué bueno. Y la última pregunta, ¿estarías abierto a mudarte a otro país o no?
Sí estaría y me gustaría mucho, pero antes de 3 años no lo haría, por la edad de mi hijo menor.
Ah, ya, ok.
Para mí es muy importante mis hijos y yo hago todo lo que pueda siempre y cuando cumpla primero como mamá. Entonces, cuando mi hijo tenga 15 años, ya está un poquito más independiente, ya puedo empezar a mirar la opción, documentación, todo.
Igual el proceso, yo te digo ahora en este momento, hasta cuando si tú conoces a alguien hoy, formas una relación, en algún momento aplican por una visa, lleva mínimo 1 año y medio, 2 años, antes de esto no vas a estar en otro
Y es
país.
un tiempo
Entonces,
prudente,
sí,
y es
sí.
un tiempo prudente no para yo estar segura con quién estoy,
Sí.
es para el chico también, es
También.
seguridad para el hombre que me conozca,
Claro.
que sepa con qué clase de mujer está,
Sí, claro.
que aprenda a valorar la persona que tiene.
Sí. Bueno, Kelly, muchas gracias. Queremos mandar un pequeño saludo. Chao, chao, les esperamos.
Hey, my name is Maria. I am from Medellin, Colombia. I own a dance studio here in the city. I am 40 years old and I love traveling. I love dogs also, and I love having a good and a healthy lifestyle.
How would you describe yourself?
I am a woman that is super independent, confident, smart, kind, loving, passionate. I love life. I love learning. I have to be challenged mentally. I love keeping a healthy lifestyle. I love arts. I love being amazed by everything that the world has to offer.
Would you be willing to have children?
I don't have kids and I don't want to have kids.
Do you have pets?
I have a pet. Her name is Molly. She's a huge pit bull. I love her. I rescued her a couple of years ago, so I love dogs.
What are you looking for in the agency?
In the agency, I'm looking to find the love of my life. I have been married before, I'm separated right now, and I'm looking for the love of my life.
What attracts you in a man?
So my dream guy is a guy that is independent, that is smart, successful, drama-free because I hate drama. I am super stable. I'm looking for something stable also. A guy that can makes me laugh and that loves traveling because I love traveling also. And that loves dogs also.
What do you have to offer in a relationship?
So I can make our couple a very strong and powerful couple. I mean, I love to support my guy, and I love also feeling the support of my guy. I think that work is not everything in life. It has to be balanced, okay? So we play, but we work also. So I'm ready to bring love, honesty, just dream and plan the future together and enjoy the rest of our lives together.
How do you show love?
I show love by touch because I work with my body because I am a dancer. I own a dance studio, so I have to hug, I have to kiss, and I have to just prove and show my love through my body, but also by actions. I mean, communication for me is key. So part of loving is just being able to communicate with your partner. And also just support and listening. This is how I show love.
Do you like to cook? What is your favorite food?
I love cooking and I love staying at home and cooking with my partner, but I love also exploring new restaurants, and I just love all kind of vegetables. I am vegetarian and I have been vegetarian for like almost 20 years, but I eat fish now and then. My favorite food is all kinds of vegetables, all maybe Indian food, Arabic food, I love it.
Would you be willing to live abroad with a gentleman?
So I cannot relocate right now, but I'm open to do it in the future. I'm working in a project that I have right now in the city, but I am open to the idea in the near future.
Are you dominant or submissive?
So I am pretty independent at work, but at home, I love that my guy is the leader that can give me advices or tips. So it's like 50-50. I'm super independent in my work, but also I need a very strong and powerful guy besides me.
What are those non-negotiables?
So my non-negotiables are that, for example, if my guy smokes, or if my guy doesn't like to have a healthy lifestyle, also lies and treason and this, I'm not cool with anything of that.
Where would you have a vacation with your partner?
So my dream destination right now could be Asia or could be Europe also. I have been traveling often, so just any country that we haven't been able to see together, I would love to go with you. So if you are there and if you see that you can match with me, I mean, if we have enough stuff in common, I would love to meet you, and I would love to get a coffee and have a coffee with you so we can talk and have our first date. So see you later. See you in our first date.